Well, it's Monday morning, April 11th, and we are here at 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to begin. And here is the blank canvas, so to speak, with 288 pieces of Velcro, just waiting. All right, here we are. Mike King and Ed Merrill are going to install the mural. Mike is taking the first panel out, number 288, and handing it to our project chair, Mr. Merrill. All right, go for it, Mike. All right, here goes the very first one.
Exactly located, otherwise.
Panel 288 by Paula Pistana. It's loons, and the loons are in. Look at that. Wow. Pretty neat. Ed not only is our project leader and artist, he's an engineer. So this is going to be done right by Cracky.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's go.
Okay, next.
Well, so far we've got half a row. The loons
270.
moving into hiding places, and 278 is going into place right now. Look at that. It's a work of art. It's a work of art coming together. Who would have known? Interesting camera. And it's kind of a surprise how well it looks.
Yes.
Because it has lots of strange designs on it. But you see how beautifully that fits right in with the preceding panel.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. Last one. This is the last one of the first row. And it was commissioned by Robert Banker, who wanted a trump doyle of a moose. And it certainly is. It's quite wonderful. And it's going into place to complete our row number 1. All right, Mike.
65.
65.
There we have a trump doyle and lilies in a pond and a dog and Yankee magazine and blues guitar and fish. And they all fit together. How fabulous is that? Nice job, guys. Row 1 done. And there is row number 1. Ed is checking, being sure that it's all level, because this is like the foundation of the house. If this row is right, everything else will follow perfectly. Gee, it looks beautiful. Just beautiful. Nice job, Ed.
Oh, it's done. Look at that. Isn't this going to be marvelous? All the lights and the frame.
So exciting.
And this afternoon the glass goes on.
What?
Wow.
That soon?
Yes.
Well, I imagine it would have to protect it.
Yes.
But I mean, this is going to be completed by then.
I thought that it was going to be pine or something.
Isn't it beautiful?
58.
Matt Merrill.
Yep. And it's the only set of panels that are meant to go together. And Ed did that. He and his brother have sponsored that in memory of his nephew. And it's 2 lovely boats.
Yeah. There's a story that goes behind the rowboats. He came to visit us when we lived in Amherst. We lived on Lincoln Pond, and there was a rowboat in Lincoln Pond. It didn't have a bottom in it. So we dragged it up out of the water and brought it up to the house, painted it, and made a planter out of it.
Oh.
He had a ball. He had a ball.
How old was he at the time?
About 12.
Oh, how neat. How neat. Here we have 248, which is sponsored by Joanne and Tom Head, because they love to go skiing.
Yeah.
Let's put it in.
48.
Cross country, eh?
And Tom was skiing up until last year, or this year, I guess. Look at that.
Got a lot of skiing in this year.
No. 41 comes in. That's the last right there. And that is the American Legion ball field with a backboard.
Yeah.
And then there's a loon on the water. And the water morphs into the rail of a farm, that's Pony Farm, Horsepower, and Boo McDaniel. Imagine that, ball field to a loon to horses.
Yeah.
Aren't our artists amazing?
And it all comes together. It's
It
just
works
beautiful.
so beautifully.
Yep.
Now Ed is putting into place the one that was dedicated, the panel that was dedicated to all of the artists in the region. Those who contributed to this and those who are just artists who didn't know about it. But that particular panel shows the original landscape of the mural before each of the artists did their own thing and made it what it is today. And when you pull back, you can begin to see the artist herself or himself standing in the grass with their dog painting the view that we are now putting up. Pretty remarkable. Deb Perro, thank you. Now this panel is sponsored
Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
by Peter Gosling,
Good, thanks.
head of the hospital, who saw this and said, this is a wonderful idea. So, and here we have Marcel. Marcel, beautifully done. Can you believe it?
Oh, this is going to be fantastic, isn't it? It really is.
Marcel is the talented genius who put it all together. We are so grateful. It looks absolutely wonderful. What do you think?
I can't wait to see it all 100%.
Yes.
Were you able to get the last time?
Well, that is the fourth row going into place. And look at that. That looks like trees reflected in the water. And look, there is the artist. The artist with his easel. But when you get close, the artist's backpack is otters. And his hat are sheep. And his leg becomes an Indian building a teepee or a moose drinking. And the Indian's foot is a hidey hole for a rabbit. Here we have a wonderful case of serendipity. Here is Amos Fortune for Gravestone. Beautifully done. And right next to it, done by a different artist, are two panels of gravestones, followed by Wet Weather, all done by another artist. And look how beautifully they blend with a similar subject matter. I tell you, this is quite a project. This one was done by a young student, Briar Haig, who when she did this was 11 years old. And you talk about talent. That's quite amazing. Two chickadees. And let's see it fit right in on the wall here.
37.
That was done by one artist, and here is done by a different artist.
Great to see you. Great to
And they all
We're
fit
on a roll. As you can
right
see.
in, and there's Briar Higgs. But now we have a very fun one we're going to put up, which is kind of neat to see it go up. And how beautifully this cat blends in with the grapes below it and the mountain and the farm next to it. But the pièce de résistance is going to be the very next piece. This is a campfire and a teepee of an Abenaki Indian, but it's a cat with its tail on fire. How great is that? Two different artists, great idea, and they work. Now here you have one by Anne Sawyer, taken from a photograph of her husband at 4 years old, standing on a hay bale. Quite a remarkable piece that just fits in so beautifully. And working our way across to all these wonderful animals and waters. And then we come to a beaver, and then Sarah Jane the cow. And here's another lovely landscape that morphs right into the Cathedral of the Pines, sponsored in memory of Humphrey Bogart and Betty Davis, who actually stayed at the Woodbound Inn.
Really?
And many people don't know that the African queen pulling the boat through the swamps was done at the headwaters of the Kentucket River, not 3 miles away from this lovely memorial to our soldiers. And there is Amy's fox. Deer and fox. If you look closely, you can see the deer right there in the background.
Oh, that's a beautiful dog.
90.
Here is our artist, and we just put one of Michael's right up there, Mark Twain. That was Ed moving the ladder. And right next to it is Blueberries, done by Kim Peterson. And right next to that are these wonderful balloons, undoubtedly done by Robert Seaman.
Here's 52 and 53.
Oh, good.
How fabulous. Look at that, all coming together.
53.
53.
This is 52.
And you see those look like trees in fall colors. It's quite remarkable because those trees with fall colors
Canvas starting to come off.
are bears and lambs. And a beach. And the flood of 1938. And we start on the last box with help now from
47.
another trustee, Sue Emerson. There it is, gang.
Oh, nice.
It is done.
Very nice. It's good.
Well, if you get about 6 feet inside the doorway here, or you see it through this little camera,
Looks really, really good.
you can.
Oh, look at that.
You know, Carolyn, that glass is really going to help too. It's really going to set it off nice and frame it out.
Yes.
The glass will.
Glass will. Each individual one is like,
Yes.
every one has got a little story here. It's,
I don't know if you noticed this one. I love this one. The top of his hat is a white sheep.
Yeah.
His hair is a black sheep. Then the beaver's here, the Indian here with his sheath and bow and arrow, tree trunk, rabbit, frog. I love this.
that is well done.
It is.
Well done, very well done.
Well, you actually can get a sense of what it is looking at it obliquely from here too.
I bet. Well, the dog, that's a nice painting of the dog too.
Isn't that lovely?